BCR Talks powered by Microsoft for a new episode today with one of our partners, Sergiu from Microsoft. He is the manager of the Microsoft for Startups program here in Bucharest, and today he will talk with us a little bit about what is the Microsoft for Startup program and how is Microsoft supporting innovative SMEs here in Romania and of course all around the world. So hello Sergiu, welcome to this online talk. How are things going on now? You are at home at work?
Very good. I'm at home, so I'm very happy to have this conversation with you. It's first time I'm doing this, so I'm a bit nervous but excited at the same time.
Okay, so also for me it's the first time I'm staying home. Yes, we're joking, but I have some back pain because of working from the couch and everything. But yeah, we have to adapt now. This is the new things to do now in the current environment. And okay, thanks to the technology, I have to say that for this chat we are using the Microsoft Teams, which actually is a very good tool for having conversations, even a larger one with more participants. Last Monday we had the selections for the InnovX Xeleration, for example, where almost 10 of our mentors entered and talked with the startups that applied for the InnovX BCR program, and everybody was very pleased with how everything was going on. So we can see that sometimes we need maybe a push from the back to use technology which is available now for all of us. But let's coming back to the subject of this talk, Sergiu. And so today we'll talk about Microsoft for Startups. As we can see from your t-shirt, a very nice t-shirt by the way, you have to give me one, and also to our team, I really like the rocket. What can you tell me about the Microsoft for Startup program? Let's see.
Okay, so we're very excited about this program, and we believe that startups are too, because it takes a fundamentally different approach than other cloud providers. It has been developed based upon extensive listening and engagement with the startup community in order to meet the unique needs of business-to-business startups as they grow and scale up. We're going beyond the usual approach of offering cloud credits.
Okay.
We're not saying that we do not offer that, but on top of that, we are the first major platform to offer a program for startups with co-selling opportunities. We offer startups business and technical acceleration benefits with focus on partnership.
Okay, you mentioned co-selling. What exactly it is the co-selling procedure, or what it means in the Microsoft for Startup programs?
Yeah. Well, imagine that basically we give access to startups to the Fortune 500 customers through co-selling. One of the questions that we got most of the time from business-to-business startup founders and investors is, please help us connect to new customers, or how do we connect to new customers? You need to know that Microsoft has over 40,000 sellers and hundreds of thousands of partners. By plugging startups into our sales engine, we can connect them directly to those customers. So basically, Microsoft for Startups will provide qualified startups with sales acceleration benefits, and our sellers compensation structure will be aligned, helping selling of this solution. Basically, our sellers are incentivized to push the solutions that are developed on our platforms by the startups to their end clients.
Okay, so yeah, continue. So basically, you give also credits on Azure and everything. You have the co-selling means, now, so you have all this network of clients and you can go with them. This is actually very important for them. Also in the last European survey of the SMEs, one of their biggest challenges were they need access to finance, but they also need access to clients. So this is actually a very good program that you are telling me. It's like a marketplace or...
yeah, and in order to integrate each startup solution into our sales engine, we'll provide account planning for the startup and help them navigate the right seller in the right industry and geography, because it's not something easy. So this co-sell model, it's an area where we're doing something other than other cloud providers are actually doing at this moment.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's a lot more than what others are doing. Yeah. So we said earlier, it's like a marketplace for small and medium businesses. Is that right? Am I? Yeah. What about it? So what can you tell me more about this structure? How it works?
Okay, so the idea is like this. Our partners and sellers are structured into small and medium business, corporate and enterprise. For corporate and enterprise is very simple because we have account managers dedicated for those accounts, and we can take the solutions while they are co-sell ready and go together with the startups at each and every of those clients. On the other hand, the SMB market, which is much larger, it's most interesting. It's most interesting because there are hundreds of thousands of companies that can be addressed there. If you enter new customer, most probably Microsoft already works with them on different levels for our different products like Windows Office or so on. In order to address the SMB market, which is much bigger, we have different channels that we go through. The biggest and the most important is the distribution channel, which means indirect sales. Or we can go directly with our system integrators and embed the solutions developed by startups into their out-of-the-box solution for large accounts. The distribution channel, in order to understand how it works, is like, let's take a practical example. In Romania, Microsoft has 4 or 5 distributors. Every distributor has a team of pre-sales, a team of account managers, a team of post-sales, which they're working together, every one of them, with hundreds of partners. Those partners address the entire market. In order to, every distributor works with different vendors at the same time. Their purpose is to address the market in a much faster way than you can do it one by one. If you want to sell to a number of clients with your own resources, you can do it, but you'll always be limited by the number of people that you have in your own sales team. So what you can do in order to expand and grow is to approach those distributors and work together with them and introduce your product into their offering. Microsoft actually helps the startups, and not only, but the startups in most particular, to work together with the distribution and reach a larger audience, a larger market. On top of that, in order to address the SMB market, we are co-investing in demand generation campaigns. These campaigns can be deployed by the startup, or they can be campaigns that we are doing together to reach into the market. On top of that, one of the pillars that we're trying to put in the Microsoft for Startup programs is to develop a go-to-market strategy together with the startup. Why is this important? In general, you have the very fast approach is, okay, let's do a Facebook campaign, let's do a LinkedIn campaign. We need to get to our end clients fast and furious. Which, okay, can work on a short period of time. However, if you want to have a consistent flow of leads, a consistent flow of opportunities, you need a plan which needs to incorporate much more than that. It needs to incorporate communication, needs to incorporate PR. You need to understand very well who your clients are and how to segment those clients and where to address the right selling proposition to them, because LinkedIn and Facebook, it's a very easy to start way type of campaign.
Yeah.
However, it's more than that. You can work together with a distributor, you can work together through the sales channel in order to be able to reach a bigger number and in the end to create loyalty, and on top of loyalty to create customer delight.
Yeah, so you do a lot in this program. So from your part, it's clear that you have an entire system really functional. For a startup, tell me what they should prepare, what they should consider in order to sell through partners. What are the requirements from their part?
Okay. The first thing that you need to take into account while preparing a strategy, a go-to-market strategy, and let's say you are a Microsoft startup, and then you want to go together with us to a distributor and address the partners they have. You need to take into account that a distributor and partners, it's a chain.
Yeah.
That needs to be aligned with your pricing model. There's one thing to sell your product or solution directly, and there's another thing that when you're trying to sell this through a distribution channel, you need to take into account the resources the distributor is putting in place, and you need to take into account the partner effort for that. So definitely you'll need a pricing model. If you're talking about a product, let's say a laptop, when you're selling a laptop, it's quite easy because the distributor will have a margin on top of that, 5 to 10%, let's say, and the partner will have a margin from 10 to 25%, depending on as many numbers of as many quantities he's trying to sell to the end client. Which is very good, but the effort to do that, it's not very big. When you're talking about solution, it's a different approach to that. And here you need to have a leads generated incentive for the partner and for the distributor. From what I've seen, this is the biggest or the simplest way of working together with a channel. You need to take into account how much you want to give for every lead to a distributor and to a partner. When I'm saying leads, I'm not saying like opportunities, but leads which will transform into a contract. So you can put a very clear percentage out of the value of the contract or the solution for each of these parts taking place into the selling strategy. If you have the pricing model, then you need to understand how to approach the market, because there are two types of campaigns usually that you are delivering. You have the pull campaigns, which are Facebook, LinkedIn, and so on, when you are trying to generate demand for your product or for your solutions, which are great. And then you have the push campaigns, when you are working with the indirect model of business. You can go from time to time and incentivize the distributor and incentivize the partners to push more your products. And since we're talking about products, in this area of solutions, there are actually two types of solutions that can be addressed. One is out of the box, when you have a full service solution, or a customizable solution. From an Azure perspective, which is our cloud infrastructure that in general startups in Microsoft for startups are building solution on top of, this means either software as a service with cloud subscription included, or bundled. Bundled means that the solution will run on the client subscription. With this second approach, for example, this would be much more interesting for a distributor and for the partners, because if they need to run, they will sell the solution to their end client, but they will develop at the same time a new Azure subscription. They will help their KPIs. So it will be very motivated for them to do that. I will add one more thing. On top of these types of campaigns that we can run, we can also generate leads with our telesales team, who are in contact with top 200 clients in the SMB segment. And this works quite well because we're not addressing only the Romanian market, but we can go globally with this team.
Okay, so Sergiu, let's sum up. What are the key success factors for selling through partners? Just let's wrap up a little bit.
Okay, so definitely, depending on how innovative the solution is and what problem it solves, this will lead to getting your solution being more appealing to the distributor chain or to the partners. How fast the solution can be understood by a partner or a telesales and how easy it can be pitched to their clients, it will definitely help a lot, because in the end, you're not doing the selling of your solution alone. You either are doing it together with them, or most of the cases, they will do it for you. So they need to know, and they need to do it very fast. Usually, in order for a telesales to be able to pitch a solution, they will not have 10 minutes. They will have 2 minutes in which the solution that you're offering needs to be very clear. It needs to solve a real problem, and it needs to be marketed like a unique solution. So it will be easy to understand. On top of that, it's very important how long the selling cycle is. If we talk about corporate and enterprise, we all know that everybody wants to sell in corporate and enterprise, which is great. Big contracts, big money, one win, it will help you a lot. However, the selling cycle in corporate and enterprise can last up to months. A selling cycle that long, it's very risky for a startup or for any other company to address. But for a startup, being especially those which are at the beginning of their life, it's putting a lot of risk whether they get it or not. And sometimes it's not enough to be confident that your solution will actually sell by itself, or it actually solves a need. Yeah, it does, and I've seen a lot of amazing solutions that couldn't get through in a corporate environment due to things like very complicated procedures, or the person who was from IT was not having a budget for implementing new software solutions, or although the beneficiary of those solutions were, let's say, the marketing department or any other things. In general, in a corporate and enterprise environment, there are many factors that need to be taken into account. And sometimes having the best product in the market or the best solution is not enough to win there. On the other hand, in the SMB environment, the selling cycle should be much shorter. You should be able to sell more in a much faster way, and that could help your startup to be on a right path for growing.
Yeah, it certainly does. But I will also have some questions from the public that we'll have from Facebook. I will start with the first one. How many startups did this program help until now, at least in here in Romania?
Yeah, so this program had different forms. It was called BSpark up to a few years ago, but it changed quite a lot in the last 2 years. Over the past decade, in general, our Microsoft programs for startups helped over 100,000 startups at different stages. We've always taken a long-term view to working with startups to drive breakthrough innovation and connect with customers. In Romania, for example, we have startups like UiPath who went through the program, or FintechOS who is graduating this program as we speak. And only this year, over 15 startups applied to Microsoft for Startups program. And if you want to name a few, from InnovX alumni, we have Index AR, Modex, Product Lead, Alpha Block, and Wise Voice, just to name a few of those who got accepted in the last couple of months.
Yes, exactly. Well, this is really great. What other benefits does the Microsoft for Startup program offer, especially for these startups?
So basically, we're making it easier for startups to access the cloud via free cloud credits, depending on their scale. They can receive up to $120,000 worth of Azure credits. We've been working to make Azure the most open and most trusted cloud for organizations of all sizes. This means that Microsoft has invested in making Azure the most open cloud, so startups can use any operating system, tool, or language to build applications. We also have startup-friendly cloud services to help with growth. For example, extended open source apps with identity and access management through Azure Active Directory, or get cloud powered insights through Azure Data Lake Analytics. On top of that, we just added to the program GitHub Enterprise, so to make access more easy and more engaging for the startups. For example, through Azure Container Service, startups can quickly create a Kubernetes cluster, develop and deploy container-based apps with any framework or language, so it will be easy for them to work together on this platform. And it's not just about the best innovation. For example, we know security and compliance are important to companies of all sizes, not to mention GDPR. We have more certification than any other cloud provider. We have been leading this industry in establishing and meeting clear security and privacy requirements. Startups building on Azure can take advantage of these industry-leading efforts. And from a technical point of view, and this is very important, startups can work one-on-one with a Microsoft engineer to architect, design, implement, migrate, or grow their application. Having a specialist at your side, having a second opinion on your cloud solution architecture could be a game changer when you're trying to scale up and, for example, try to keep the costs in place.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. No, this is a lot. This is really a great program and really complex. We are really glad that we have you guys on the InnovX programs, and because we really need to present. We really need you to present to the startups what are all these possibilities that you can offer them. Many of them doesn't know about them. Yeah. So this is really important also to know about them, but also to know how to use them. So really,
that's why I'm here.
Yeah, we're really thankful that you came in the program and everything. So my colleague already posted on the Facebook channel some links, some useful links in order to have access to more documents and to the portals. Thank you very much for providing them to us. what are the conditions for a startup to join this program? So what are the conditions and the steps?
Yeah. We prioritize enterprise technology or business-to-business startups who can best serve our customer base and will benefit most from the program. New member applicants are evaluated using the following criteria: offering an innovative technical solution that supports customers in their digital transformation, and we see today how important it is to be able to transform digitally fast. Yeah. They need to have less than 7 years in existence, and this is a new thing. We extended it from 5 years to 7 years in the last 2 months. Less than $25 million in total annual revenue, and they need to have funding. Funding means seed or Series A. I would add to these conditions that the product needs to be market fit, or it needs to be ready or in full deployment mode, but ready to launch into the market, let's say in a short period of time, in order to benefit from our co-selling options.
Yeah, this is good. Sergiu, so you said that they have to raise some funds, they need to be bankable, so they have to be on the profitable on the commercial side. What about some startups that are, for example, in other fields, social fields, like I don't know, maybe in education or maybe in healthcare, I don't know. Do you have some tools for them, some programs to help them?
Yes. We have 2 programs actually right now, which are built on top of Microsoft for Startups, especially for those areas where the startups are addressing skill development, sustainability, or accessibility. We have Microsoft Global Social Entrepreneurship Program, who supports social impact startups with technology, connection, and grants, so they can focus on bringing their big vision to life and making the world a better place. And we have AI for Good, and we are trying to help those startups who are working on humanitarian issues and create a more sustainable and accessible world. AI for Good has many levels. I will just mention AI for Earth, accessibility, which is basically our program for organization working to cultivate intelligent experience for people with disabilities, which is a great thing because Microsoft values a lot diversity and inclusion, and this is one of our focus area. Humanitarian action, cultural heritage, and of course AI for health. This is a program focused on gathering and sharing that data to speed up innovation and address difficult health issues. And you know how important this is exactly now. We had this program for a while now, and for example, today we announced a collaboration to create an open research data set for COVID from a combination of scientific articles about the coronavirus group of viruses for use by a worldwide research community. And we did that with full text available for over 13,000 articles. And the key feature actually is that this content can be used for or with computational tools. So basically, you can take all these aggregating scientific literature into a valuable unified data resource, and you can bring your own know-how in order to accelerate and to deliver more, because we need that right now.
Yeah, we definitely need that. We already also in InnovX, we have some of our startups developing now or adapting their solutions in order to give and address some of the effects of the coronavirus, not only those related to health, but also for the economics effects and so on, and this social distancing from us. this was to another episode only on coronavirus. Maybe we can do it and see what tools can we provide and how the startups can come with solution in this time.
Definitely Microsoft wants to be part of this journey, and we are trying to provide those startups in these times with all the resources they need to accelerate.
Yeah. Also here at InnovX, by going online, we provided, and now we augmented a number of companies that can benefit of the InnovX BCR program, because they need, especially in this time, more help than ever in order to develop, not to to pass this blockage and to go further and to scale. They really need any program that is now available. I hope it won't be available, also your programs now in this period. For how long do you think Microsoft will stay side by side with the startups in this journey? What do you think?
Okay, definitely from the beginning, from the moment they are ready to sell their product to the market, up to when they reach the peak of their journey, but even beyond. A qualified startup becomes part of the program, and basically we put our boots on the ground to ensure they got sales, technical, and community support. We begin to bring them into the offices of these customers, or virtually at least, and go with them to help them sell. This is a journey that can last from a few months to maximum of 2 years. But after the 2 years, they are mature enough and they can graduate the program, and they should have already enough sales to be strong on their own. At graduation, actually, they receive a dedicated success manager, and we, Microsoft, continue to sell through our different motions with them their solution.
Okay, Sergiu, we have another question from the virtual public. Okay, so you said something about grants, but does Microsoft invest in startups also during or after this program?
The grants are dedicated for the social entrepreneurship program and AI for good, and there are eligible conditions for that. In startups, we do invest, but we invest with our cloud solution architects with up to 120,000 K of free Azure, and we use our marketing teams together and the co-sell program, which is actually adjusted for startups. So yes, it's a big investment from our side.
Okay, another question from Dana Maria. How Microsoft selects the startups they would support, any specific conditions? You already answered, but maybe if you can repeat.
So to summarize, they need to be cloud enabled. The solution needs to be innovative, and you need to have some funding available.
Yeah, so perfect fit with InnovX. So to answer also to Dana Maria, if you also enter the InnovX program that is still open for application until this Friday, then you can participate to the workshops of Microsoft to meet all these really great guys and see how you can be a good fit also for the Microsoft program. Yeah, so basically this is for now. Thank you very much, Sergiu, for being with us today. Again, the technology provided by Microsoft, the Microsoft team, is really good. You should also try it to have a conversation or to have meetings. Until now it worked really fine. And can you tell me a little bit more about the Microsoft offer now on the Microsoft team, or is there something that
yes, in a nutshell, we extended the trial version for all clients having Office 365 up to 6 months. So right now The solution includes Teams for free for up to 6 months, so it will help our partners to work from home and our clients to work from home. And for the education environment, we've done the same. The solution is free right now, and our colleagues are doing everyday workshops. Our partners are providing for free solution and guiding and helping everybody to work better and easier.
Yeah, and safe now, because we see what's happening outside. Okay, so yeah, we're looking forward to have a live chat next time, like we had in February, and let's see what's happening until there. I'm sure that also thanks to the technology and all this means that enable collaborations in the world, faster solutions will appear in order to address this challenge of the coronavirus. We need to be vigilant also as startups and company. We need to adapt fast. We need to use technology, especially in this day. It's a really good solution in order to go further and not block ourselves and our companies. So thank you again, Sergiu, for being with us tonight. Now we'll go each one to our kitchens and have a beer or a glass of wine. It's really up to us. We'll see. But yeah, it was really nice, and see you next time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure, and stay safe.
Stay safe, Sergiu. Okay, bye.